What's up, y'all? It's John Joffrey with Revent Builds. We are back out here at the kitchen fit for a Viking. And I know that's a little bit of an interesting title, but we named it that because we built this kitchen for a very special person. Bjorn Ironside, AKA Ace Spade, Alexander Ludwig, one of my great friends, an esteemed actor. We're just so humbled to work for this guy. In this video, we're gonna get into all the details of this kitchen, top to bottom. We're gonna sit down with Alex, go through it all. You're not gonna wanna miss this. Let's get into it. Alexander, dude, thank you so much for being here, bro.
Of course, John, I'm so happy to be here.
You know, my first question is, how do you like your kitchen?
I'm obsessed. This is our dream kitchen, and I'm so grateful for you just being truly the greatest guy to work with. I remember when you asked me to do this interview and I was just like, it's not even a question. I want everybody to know that John is the man and I can't wait to do more with you.
Dude, you're making me blush over here, bro. So what are some of your favorite features?
Without question, my favorite feature in this kitchen is this island here. We leathered it, which I'm so happy we did. I wanted it to have this like little bit of a rustic feel to it. So that, and obviously the backsplash and everything we did there, it's without question my favorite. Also love the appliance garage. I mean, it's a huge plus. And of course, one of the things I always would do when I got a job is I would like treat myself. This time it was getting an ice machine. Like I'm addicted with like cubed ice.
The Sonic ice.
Sonic ice,
Yep.
like I'm obsessed. So I was really happy about that too.
No, I remember when that came up too. You're like, guys, can we do like an ice machine? I was like, well, you know, those are kind of pricey. And you're like, dude, whatever, screw it. I deserve this ice machine.
I was
that
like,
was
this
like
is my, thing. Like I'm like, some people buy like bags and I'm like, all I want is a ice machine.
I know. That's amazing. How did you land on Revent Builds and like, why? And how did this come to be when you have all the choices in the world, you know?
So we have a house in Atlanta, Georgia, and that's where I lived for 2 years. That's where I shoot Bad Boys, and I was shooting a TV show called Heels there. Loved it there, but we knew that that wasn't where we wanted to kind of put our roots down. We went and visited Austin for a weekend, ended up putting an offer on this house on FaceTime, having never seen it. And I remember like maybe 2 months later, this house came on the market because I'm obsessed with looking at Zillow. I turned to my wife, Lauren, and I was like, man, this was like our dream home. And it was called the Modern Victorian.
That's right.
And I just thought, I was like, these builders are incredible. I was like, who did this? So I looked you guys up and I shot you an email. And here we are.
And look at like what's come of this. I try to get here with all my clients, but I can honestly say like you're a true friend. You're such a good, like awesome guy, man.
What you do and what I do aren't too dissimilar. Sometimes the best directors in the world, the ones who are just like, go do your thing and I'm just gonna step back. I feel like we worked so well together because I was just like, okay, this is the vibe that we want. And like, all right, it's on you. And even our friends who come over, you know, they're just jaws on the floor just because, I mean, this is truly our dream kitchen. I don't know, even when, you know, the time comes and we need to get a little bit more space because we have more kids. I mean, we're literally gonna be like, John, we need to just make this exact kitchen again.
In some of the videos that we were doing, a lot of people were like, what's wrong with that kitchen? You know, like there was nothing wrong with it per se before.
No, of course not.
Like the original kitchen. What were you trying to achieve with doing this project?
You know, I'm never really home because of my job. The one thing that was really important to us was that we had, you know, the kitchen that we kind of always wanted to. My wife loves to cook. She's an incredible cook. And
awesome.
I just feel like so much of, you know, entertaining and when you have people over is your kitchen. For us, it was kind of a no-brainer. We always knew that was like the one thing we would like to get right. And the kitchen that we had before was perfect. I mean, it was great. It's just that it was very, I mean, I guess you'd say builder grade.
Yeah.
You know, it just kind of came with the home. They kind of put it up there just because it was good enough. One thing I've learned as I've gotten older is I always tell my wife, I'm like, clean house, clear head. And I hated that in our old kitchen, like we could literally see our stuff everywhere. Yeah. So that was a huge thing for me.
This is like so much more fitting on like you and your wife and your family. Like, how does that feel and how is that?
It seems like such a privileged thing to be able to say, and I'm so grateful that I can say that. But like, so much of my work happens in this area. You know, I read my scripts in this kitchen and do everything here. So the best thing for me was when Lauren was just like, "This is like my dream home now. She just couldn't believe how amazing this is.
It's just so awesome for us to be able to like make that dream come true for both of y'all.
I can't say it enough, John. Like I'm eternally grateful for you guys, and it's beyond anything I could have ever imagined. Every time I sit here, I'm just like, this is so crazy. Like it's amazing.
Awesome.
I mean, it's just, it makes me so happy every day I come down. So
how do you feel about like Revent Builds in general? Would you like recommend us to other people?
I already have. I recommended you to our entire friend group. My only fear is that you're going to be too busy for us. Because I'm like, you guys don't understand. These builders are, and John in particular, are just the best. And one thing I think is so important to me, beyond how insanely talented you guys are, is just how you guys are as people. It's a big deal. So you want to be working with people that you really trust, that share your same values. And not only do I feel that way with you and Joseph and everybody that you guys have at this team, you happen to be the most talented builders I've ever worked with. And anybody in Austin or Texas or the United States, shit, I'm sure you'd go to Africa if you needed to. I cannot recommend these guys enough. I mean, Revent Builds is the spot. Yeah, it's the most amazing company. And dude, this is the beginning for us. I mean, one day we're gonna build a home together, and then another, and then another. So get ready.
Yeah, that was my exact next question. And like, dude, we're here, like for life, brother. And thank you so much for everything.
No, dude, thank you, man.
I can't even, like your kind words and everything. Like, I'm just kind of having a moment where I feel just like, this is awesome, man.
Hey,
thank you
I mean
so
it,
much.
dude.
All right, now you've seen who this masterpiece kitchen was built for. Let's get into all the details, because there really are a ton of them. First off, let's talk about this one-of-a-kind island. It is a sculptural statement, absolutely stunning. If you notice right off the bat, when you do a massive island, what you'll normally see is a seam down the middle where you join two different pieces. But what we did is we took the exact size of our slab, and then after rounding these corners and mitering these edges, we made it as big as humanly possible to do one island out of one solid piece. So there's no seams in this whole thing. Absolutely stunning. Some other details. If you look at this stone, this is called a Taj Mahal quartzite. Get a close look up on this thing. Look at these grains and grooves. This looks like a real hunk of stone. So a lot of the stones come in a polished finish, which is very high gloss, and it just looks a lot more modern. What we were going for here is a lot more organic, a lot more rustic, like we just took a rock out of the earth and put it on here. But what we had to do is leather this stone. So if you look at the finish, it's a much more of a matte finish. There's a very slight gloss to it, but the texture is so rocky and it's just amazing and it feels awesome. And that kind of contrasts a lot of the modern elements that we have, which I think is really cool. Look closely here. Every single corner of this island is curved. So there's two things going on here. If you look at the thickness of this countertop over here, this is the regular thickness of the stone. It's about 1.25 inches, or what we call 3 cm. So here, this is almost triple thick. So what we do is we have to miter this top edge. So basically you cut both of those pieces at a 45-degree angle so you can put them together, just like that. And then we epoxy this seam. And you have to color match this epoxy so you don't see the seam. But now, to make it even harder, this curve. Get in close on here. What you will see is each one of these pieces is an individual piece. You cannot curve stone, right? So we have to cut them into these slivers, and then we laminate all of that together. So you're mitering this edge, mitering this edge, and then all of these are mitered together on every corner of this island. Let me show you one more thing. Come over to this side. Obviously we have space for our stools, so we have an overhang here, but this is really cool. What we did is we made these columns and we plastered them. So Soul Solutions, our cabinet company, they made these columns and that vent hood out of HDF, which is like a high-end white-backed MDF material, and we just cover it in plaster. But again, it gives it this really kind of like stone ornate feel, just very organic. So let's go through the rest of the kitchen. Taj Mahal quartzite on all the counters and all the backsplash. Look at our beautiful cabinets. This is a white oak. All of this is white oak that we stained a nice dark color. What is amazing about these cabinets is this is a one-of-a-kind profile. This has never been done before. So normally what you'd see is when they're just flat like this, it's called Euro style. And these flat cabinets would come all the way here. But this part is called the style. The stiles are the vertical sections and the rails are the horizontal sections there at the top, okay? So the stiles, what we did here is we made them nice and chunky and then they protrude so they're proud of the rest of the cabinet. So now you have this custom style, custom style with stiles, get it? In this whole kitchen. And look at how the style comes all the way down, even though it sits right on top of the countertop. This is just awesome. So many different features. I love the push to open. The inside of our cabinets, this is actually a pressed wood. It's made out of a high strength laminate. What's amazing is you can pick any finish that you really want. So we picked a really cool exotic finish for the inside, but these will never scratch. You can spill oil on these. You can even submerge them in water. And when you do laminate in a high-end way, it's gonna last forever. A lot of the time, the interior of a cabinet is either like a UV coated plywood, which to me looks cheesy, or it's just an afterthought. And I hate that. But when we do it out of this high-end laminate, that pressed wood, you get a really cool interior. Some other features here to keep everything really sleek is you see there's no cabinet hardware anywhere in this kitchen. You have the push to open here, but then all the drawers, there's a finger pull. So every single drawer, you basically have this space in between and you can just get your fingers right there and you grab the drawer. And that is an awesome, sleek option. If you look too, we have cutlery organizers, utensil organizers. This whole kitchen is decked out. Integrated spice rack. Moving on, I love this stone backsplash. It just makes such a big difference as opposed to going with tile. It's obviously a pretty big expense, but it just looks amazing coming up the wall. So what we did is the vent hood, and at the same level, we brought these floating shelves. What I love as an awesome touch is the integrated lighting inside of the floating shelf. Now, just looking at the vent hood surround, how awesome is that? It has the same kind of curves to mimic the curves on our island corners and those columns. And then all of this is a plastered finish. So it has that kind of organic, watery feel that kind of mimics the counters, but it also differentiates itself. And then we did plaster on either side with some really cool sconces. Over here, we custom built in the fridge and freezer, wall ovens here. Another unique feature is really, this wasn't only a kitchen. Now we're moving down into the dining room. So we brought the cabinetry all the way over with some really cool floating shelves for styling. And then we built this custom banquette under this window. This window was not here. That window was, so we did an extra large picture window to let in a bunch of natural light, and then you have this awesome dining area right here. So this was really not only a kitchen, it was a kitchen and a dining. Something we did to really maximize storage is the old kitchen used to actually be part of it was against this wall. So my idea was, hey guys, what if we closed all of this up, and then the pantry that was basically just this door is now a huge walk-in pantry. Come in and check it out. New custom door, and then tons of shelving, so much storage space. You went from basically just this area to now you have all of this, and then we custom built in all of these shelves. This is the ceiling right there on the stair. So we expanded this whole closet, and now having a walk-in pantry is just always gonna make the resale value of your kitchen and your home much better. But all in all, this has to be one of my very favorite clients ever, one of our most badass kitchens that we've ever done. And it just goes to show you how much detail we can put in such a small space compared to a whole home. But really, the kitchen is the heart of the home. This really embodies both of our clients' spirits, their awesome attitudes, and we could not be happier with how it came out. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of y'all. We have so many more projects coming up. I say it in every video, but really, things are insane over here at Revent Builds. Hit that subscribe button. You're gonna wanna follow along. I'll see y'all on the next one.